Good morning. It's Malcolm MacPherson coming to you again from my kitchen in Kingston, Ontario. I apologize. It's been a busy morning so far, and I'm still in my sleepwear, but I've had a busy morning. I woke up after a good sleep at about 4 a.m. Eastern Time, and now it's 6:45, and I just thought I'd do a very short video to give you a little insight into what my morning's like. So while I was having my morning coffee, I made that other strawberry pie that didn't quite get finished in the last video when we made the peach pie and talked about the negative effects of schizophrenia. So I just wanted to get that finished, and later in the day I hope to deliver a quarter of a piece or a quarter of a strawberry pie and peach pie to 3 or 4 different friends, and I hope that brings a smile to their face, and it'll probably make me feel good, and I can savor the good things that I've done for the day. A friend of mine says he always tries to do a good deed every day, and I suppose that's a good philosophy to have. Now, besides making the strawberry pie, I just wanted to tell you just a little bit about my health. I appeared very strained and short of breath in the first video, the peach pie video, and what's going on, about 6 weeks ago, I developed a dry pneumonia, which I didn't even know I had, and my oxygen got very low. It was actually 85 when I presented at emergency, which is sort of turning blue level of oxygen. And a friend of mine who used to be an ambulance driver said that I was probably apoxic, which means very desperately short of breath, and I was. I've never smoked or done drugs, but I have had the little bit of alcohol here and there, but no drugs and no smoking. And I was diagnosed with interstitial lung disease flare-up complicated by pneumonia, and also a little bit of COPD. And in the last couple of weeks I have been suffering with being short of breath, although my oxygen's more in the normal range. So if I look a bit strained in the video, I am dealing with this. And the last time I had pneumonia, it took about 6 or 8 months to fully get over it. So that's something that's new in my life, and as I said, I am 70 years old, so I have more or less a growth mentality. So when something happens, I tend to rise to the challenge and try to adapt to it. So that's basically a little bit more about me. Let's get on to my morning routine. So far I've had some coffee when I was making the pie, and I had a couple of clementines, which just kind of started the day out, and then when I finish the video I'll have a little bit of breakfast, and my food's pretty well prepared for dinner tonight and lunch. I'll probably make a chicken sandwich for lunch, and I have some Middle Eastern food that I cooked several days ago, some tabbouleh, some fool, it's F-U-L, which is like a bean dip. It looks like hummus, and I have some homemade hummus and some laban, which is like a yogurt and cucumber, and I may have a can of chicken noodle soup or something. So the hummus and fool goes with crackers, and you can combine it with the tabbouleh and the and the Laban. But I don't know if you know, tabbouleh is the national dish of Syria. We always hear so much bad news about Syria, but I think the Middle Eastern diet is actually quite healthy. I'm not endorsing it, I'm just saying that's my opinion. Anyway, onward. Now, I take my meds in the morning, and I also take them at night with my dinner. I don't have to, I can take them before food, but I'll have food shortly after. So I keep my meds in a little vial like this, which I dish out. So I'll just take those now. I'm not endorsing anything, but for schizophrenia, I take 40 milligrams of Latuda and 5 milligrams of Cipralex, just to kind of stabilize my mood and anxiety. It's a very low dose of both medications, but I've been stable on them 6 or 7, 8 years, and I've always taken my medication, and that's one reason why I'm quite functional. So that's that. I'll just take my meds. There's a multiple vitamin. So that's good for the day until tonight. Here's my meds laid out for supper time. And so, you know, I'm out of meds here in this vial. So this is the container that has a lot of my meds in it, and when I finish the video, I'll dish those meds out into 7 different days of vials, so I just easily take them like I did now, and then I don't forget anything. Because if I don't do that, you sort of wonder, oh, did I take my meds or didn't I, if you get stressed or busy. So you can just look at the vial, and if today's Friday, so if the Friday meds are gone, then I know I've taken my meds. As far as the pharmacy goes, I try to give them 5 or 6 days notice as to when I'm low on meds, so that gives them lots of time to order in extras if they're short, or to prepare them, and when they're not under stress of time, I think they might do a better job, and that. So I try to be courteous towards the pharmacy. I don't really believe in going in at the last minute and getting meds, and you also may need an extra script from your doctor, so it takes time to do all that, and I find 5 or 6 days notice kind of deals with most things. So that's a brief introduction. My plan for the day, well, I am making this video. It'll wrap up shortly. And then I have a few other little video ideas. One down at Portsmouth Olympic Harbor. Kingston was host to the Sailing Olympics for the Montreal 1976 Olympics, and we have the Portsmouth Olympic Harbor, which is used for pleasure craft, and our Coast Guard also has a few small patrol boats there and some sailing boats, and it's right next to one of the most notorious prisons in Canada, KP, Kingston Penitentiary. It was built in the 1800s and it's now closed, but it's open for tours, and then eventually a lot of it's going to be demolished and they're going to build condos and then redevelop the Portsmouth Olympic Harbor to better uses than what the building suits itself for now. But the actual boat slips excuse me, in the harbor will probably remain the same, but all that's in the planning stages right now. And from a business perspective, they're hoping the condos will help to pay for a lot of the redevelopment. So that's that. So I'll be delivering pies to friends. I hope to do a few videos. And just one more thing I'll introduce is that I'm trained in finance, and I'm a little short of funds right now, so I made a few investments about a month ago in put options, which I believe the Dow Jones Industrial Average is quite overvalued, and so do a lot of other people like Warren Buffett and Mohammed El-Rian, who's quite a person that I respect in finance. And a number of people think the market's overbought, and there was a big drop yesterday of about 3% in the Dow Jones, and the futures are negative for today. I've already checked the futures, so I'm just monitoring that. I made some money yesterday, and I'm not hoping for doom and gloom, but when the market gets overbought, it's kind of a good thing if it has a 10% correction, because it kind of cleans out the speculators and the people that probably shouldn't be in the market. So that's a little bit. I'll talk more about that in future videos, but I am trained. And when you're young, it's good to get your education if you're able to, because I had studied business when I was in my early 20s, and I just kind of, about 5 years ago, refreshed myself by taking the recommended course to be a stockbroker, but I have no intention of ever managing other people's money. It was just an interest, and I play around with it. So without further ado, we'll kind of wrap up this orientation video, which, as you see, is coming to you live from my kitchen. This is my pantry for cooking and baking, or not baking, for cooking. And cooking's also another one of my hobbies, which I've had since about the 1980s. But the Joy of Cooking cookbook, the 25-year-old edition that I have, says that you should maintain a pantry so that you don't have to go out and buy things at the last moment. So I'll leave you with my tip for the day. I believe it's very important to look after your teeth, which includes regular hygiene appointments and dental checkups, as well as brushing your teeth with a soft toothbrush. That seems to be what dentists recommend, and using a good toothpaste, and brushing a couple of times a day, and flossing your teeth. And your teeth will thank you when you get older, like I am now, and you still have your teeth. I have quite a few cavities, and I guess the dentist says that all the psychiatric meds that we have to take contribute to dry mouth, which contributes to causing increased amount of dental decay. So that's what one medical reason the dentist says as to why you should have regular checkups. So I hope you have a good day. It's now almost 7 o'clock. I'll have a little bit of breakfast and get washed and dressed, and I hope to go out and make a couple of 2 or 3 minute videos today and get the day started. So thank you for watching, and remember to click like if you like the video at any time during the video, and please send me comments if you think I'm giving relevant information or not giving relevant information, and let me know how I'm doing, because I'm doing this for you. My life is well along, but I just wanted to share how I have lived my life and some of the successes that I've had. So if there's anything you want to know about schizophrenia or recovery or just day-to-day activities, home economics, careers. I've had lots of experience, and it ties in with my background in adult education, so ask away and I'll try to answer the questions, and either by responding to you or posting them in future videos. So thank you very much and have a good day. We're on tour right now delivering the pies that we made yesterday and this morning, and I'm just arrived with my friend Keith, and we're visiting my friend Joan, who I have some pie for.
Thank you very much, Malcolm. It looks lovely.
Oh, you're welcome. I hope you like it. The strawberry pie didn't quite set, so
I'll give it a chance.
Better luck next time.
Well, it's very nice. Thank you.
You're welcome. Now, Joan and I have been friends a few years, and I found out that you have a special car.
For me, it's a special car. It's my baby.
And what do you like about it?
It's a convertible.
A convertible. A friend told me that you kind of break the mold. A friend told me that only old men drive convertibles because they're the only ones that can afford it.
Well, my convertible is 16 years old, and unfortunately, if I was going to sell it, I doubt if I get $2,000 for it, so it's not an expensive car.
No, but it's a good car.
It's a good car.
Do you drive it in the winter?
No, not my baby. It's used to the summer driving only.
Okay. And we've driven in it to Napanee, didn't we?
Yes, we did.
And we had the roof down.
Yes.
And our hair was blowing in the wind.
Yes, it was very nice.
Yeah. So, well, that's good. And Joan has a nice apartment. She looks out over Lake Ontario in Kingston, Ontario. Is that Lake Ontario out there, or Kingston Harbor? Or?
That's Lake Ontario, looking across at Wolf Island.
And there's, windmills on Wolf Island, isn't there?
Yes, you can only see a few from my window, but there are there.
Yeah, they generate green power. Well, thank you for having us, Joan, and it's always good to get together, and there'll be more pie on the way.
Well, thank you very much for the pie. I'm sure it'll be lovely.
And we'll look forward to a ride in your convertible.
Okay.
And Keith can come too.
Yes.
And we'll cruise. This continues on September the 6th, just after sunrise, at Portsmouth Olympic Harbor. It's sort of a perspective shot, and we're panning around to KP, the now closed, notorious Kingston Penitentiary, built in the early 1800s, and all the most serious prisoners in Canada have been moved elsewhere. And they used to joke that this was the prisoners' yacht club. But in reality, it's Portsmouth Olympic Harbor, named after the sailing Olympics of the Montreal 1976 Olympics. So we'll move into the harbor and get perspective shots there. And here we are at a different perspective of the Olympic Harbor. It's still early in the morning, and I'm just doing a pan of 360 degrees, so we can see the boats. This is Canada, so our boats aren't quite as big as what you'll find maybe in Europe or the United States, but this is what we have. It is a sheltered harbor, and we'll take another perspective from a different part of the harbor in a few minutes. Here's a different perspective of the harbor, and we'll do another pan. It's still September the 6th on a Sunday morning, and there's our famous Coast Guard ship. They have to patrol for drugs and contraband, and there's the inspection station, and here's the building that was built for the 1976 Olympics. And there's my little car. It's a 2013 Toyota Corolla that I bought about 2 years ago, and it's only got about 35,000 kilometers on it. It would be probably worth about $9,000 US, and it's a good little car, and it's gets about 50 miles to the gallon, so it's probably my third or fourth Toyota Corolla. And there. So we'll just go to a different point, and we'll go from there. Here's a different perspective from Portsmouth Olympic Harbor, an older condo, and you can see the easterly end of Lake Ontario. Now there's always wind here. That's why they had the sailing Olympics. There's always wind, and I don't know if you can see it. You may be able to see the wind turbines on Wolf Island, which is one of the largest islands in the Thousand Islands, and people are quite protective of Wolf Island. Rumor has it they don't like visitors, but there is a free ferry going over there. I don't know if that's true or not. I've always been well received there. I'm just panning, and maybe you can see the prison and the Olympic Harbor and the building, and Now, over here, you can see the little footbridge, and it leads to a walking trail which goes up behind the brand new $600+ million rehabilitation hospital built in 2018. So it's I'll take a video of that sometime. So a final tip, if you're not feeling too well, or you would like to declutter your mind, Dr. Santos, like many other practitioners, highly recommend meditation, and they tell me even if you meditate for a minute or two in tranquility, it will help your perspective and frame of mind and calm your mind. And you can always play ocean waves and sounds on something like Spotify or one of the apps that delivers tranquility music. So that's about it for the tour of Portsmouth Olympic Harbor. Maybe you can see people walking their dogs, the local Kingston people. Anyway, have a good day, and I hope the sun shines. It's shining here.